Good afternoon, you handsome lot, or evening, whatever time you're watching the video. Today I've got a 2014 Nissan Qashqai 1.2DIG-T, whatever you want to call it, and it has covered 56,000 miles. And we're going to be doing the timing chain on it. Now, before we go getting too involved in this vehicle, we're going to be doing a full system health check, make sure that there's nothing underlying or major that we need to have a look at while we're doing the timing chain. Now, I have done a report, and the only thing that we've got is a AC refrigerant pressure sensor. Nothing really to worry about. Before we pull this engine apart, I'm going to get it started up and I'm going to let you have a little listen. It does... I think it's going to be a bit of a noisy day in the background today, hammering and God knows what. But anyway. Can you hear it slapping? Right, let's switch it off and get that battery disconnected. Battery is disconnected and I've got the vehicle up in the air, as you can see. Remove the belly pan. Attached our engine support, because obviously we're going to be taking the engine mount off the side of the engine, and also we're just draining out the engine oil. It's all lovely little receptacle. And once that's stopped, we can put the sump plug back in, lower the car down, and think about taking the rocker cover off and the engine mount and stuff like that. Yeah, let's crack on. Now we need to make a start on getting this rocker cover off. Now, there's a heat shield on the exhaust. I've gone ahead and taken that off. Now, remember when we did a diagnostic report, it said the refrigerant pressure? Well, there was no refrigerant in it, so I have disconnected the aircon pipe, which comes over here. Just bent it out, well, not bent it because it's on a rubber hose. Just pulled it over there out the way. There's a breather pipe, comes over here. We can go ahead and get that intake pipe off now, and all this gubbins from over here. Not much of a job, lots of little niggly bits to take off, but isn't there on all bloody modern cars, eh? I tell you what, it's a little bit gloomy. I think the winter's on its way, isn't it? Anyway, I've had to get the big light out to get some light on the job. Gone ahead, remove the rocker cover now. We've got a nice little pile of parts there. Keep everything together, and every bolt that you take out, make sure you plonk it back in. Saves having piles of bloody nuts and bolts everywhere. We can go ahead now, and we're just going to remove this little evap valve here. Just pull it out of the way, and we can make a start of getting the side of that engine off. Now, to get the side of the engine off, there is a little bit of wiring loom that comes around the side. Unplug it on the camshaft solenoids. Remove both of them. Now, just mark them up. I'm going to put a little for inlet, just so we're not getting them mixed up. I've got to take the exhaust one off shortly, and then we've got to take the water pump pulley off, tension it, and then a couple of bolts at the top, and then we can come in from the bottom. Oh, disaster has struck. You know my little receptacle? Oh, it's absolutely everywhere. Go on, pump it out. Oh dear. Oh well. If you don't laugh, you'll cry, won't you? Right, well, after that little spillage, we can concentrate now. Everything. Oh, I'll tell you what I have done. Hang on. Hang on. I've left my little cardboard box at the top. With all my bolts in. I need that to get all the bolts at the bottom. Let's start again. Done everything at the top. We can work our way around to the bottom now. This, absolute game changer. It saves so much faffing about. Let me drop it down and I'll show you. Look at that. We can get everything now from the bottom. Nice and easy. Right, well, we are making a little bit of progress now. To get this timing cover off, crank pulley needs to come off, but this vehicle is having a water pump, is what the customers asked for. So I'm going to take this off now, and it's going to make it easier for me to slide the timing cover in and out. And then if we do take it with the timing cover off, all the water's going to drip down into the sump. So I'd rather take it off now. That makes sense. I haven't done the 4 bolts. Now my receptacle is nice and clean and emptied. You can get some fluids drained in there. Everything is now removed off the timing cover, crank pulley, water pump. And it is nice and loose. I'm going to move my receptacle now out of the way. Get another little receptacle in the bottom there because it will be oil dripping out the bottom there. Not a lot, but it will be dripping, and we know we hate mess. Right, well, timing cover is now removed. Can we zoom in? It is absolutely disgusting in there. Quite a little bit of slack in that chain. Right, now while I'm stripping this down, what we're going to be doing, now a lot of people have asked how I clean the casings and the engine and stuff like that. And all I use, good old fashioned elbow grease. Now while I'm stripping it down, we're going to spray all this. And we're going to leave it dwell. Leave it sitting there. No matter how long it takes. Could be an hour, half an hour, 45 minutes. Leave it in there. And also, I don't know where I've put it. Oh, there it is. Every now and again, give it a little bit of an agitation. It might not come clean, but we will get it better than what it is now, I think. Yeah, we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go. Now, when you're removing the chains on these engines, a little bit like a Honda that I did the other day, there's no sort of, on this engine, there's no sort of timing marks. It's all on the links, if that makes sense. But I have just put that Woodruff key, as a little bit of reference, straight up to that little pin thing there, whatever you want to call it. But just look how slack the chain is. Even the tensioner won't come out any further. Okay. That's quite bad, that, isn't it? Look at the state of it. How it hasn't jumped, I don't know. But yeah, right. Not much of a job. Just get a little 8 mils or 10 mils now. Get this chain off, and it's also having an oil pump chain as well. Timing chain is now removed. Honestly, I've never seen a chain that slack in a while. We will compare it to the new one shortly. But however, the dephaser units, I did order 2 kits, one with and one without. We're not using the one without because the intake, can you hear that? It is rattling. Where the exhaust is nice and tight. And we also have a little look at the teeth. They are heavily worn. You see? Where we can compare them to a brand new one, which are perfect. Now the dephaser units, they are on a keyway. Can you see? So we haven't got to worry about, there's no fancy special timing tools or anything like that. We can grab a 23mm on the camshaft, grab a 13mm, whatever I shall put it. Where have I put it? I don't know what I've done with it. It was here a second ago. Oh, it's there on the floor. Pull the spanner towards you and the ratchet away from you. And that slackened off. We'll just wind the centre bolt out. A little bit like that. Perfect. Right, let's get a little bit of cleaning on the go. Now on these, to remove the timing, not the timing chain, the oil pump chain, Some engines, you can remove the pulley off the oil pump, and others, you've got to remove the whole oil pump, which involves removing the sump, which isn't too bad because we can all give it a bit of a clean in there, can't we? Now we can go ahead, slide it off, watch the woodruff key, you don't lose it or it falls off, be careful, and that now, go in the pile with the rest of the other stuff. After about 20 minutes, half an hour of cleaning and giving everything a little bit of a scrub-a-do, that engine now is as clean as I don't know what it is. It just will not come clean. But there's no oil on it, and all the edges where we need to apply sealant are nice and clean. Now we're going to get this engine put back together, and we're going to be using our BGA kit. I'm going to start off by putting these on first. Start with the exhaust. Like I said, there is a little keyway and it fits into the bottom of the camshaft. Can you see it? We'll get these on and get them torqued up. Camshaft to phases, now on and torque to spec. Now let's go ahead and just compare the timing chain. Now I am holding it nice and level. Have a little look at the bottom. Will it focus? Can I go against the bonnet? Yeah, there we go. Can you see the one at the back? It is stretched. So yeah, it's quite bad, that is. I've gone ahead, we've put the oil pump back on, make sure that I'm kind of glad in a way that we've taken the sump off, just so we can give everything a little bit of a clean, because when we're cleaning down the side of the engine, obviously, all the crap and stuff goes right down into the sump. So I'm glad that we've taken it off and given it a little bit of a clean. New oil pump chain, and now the timing chain, the colour is to the mark on the gear and also the top as well. Now we are now going to get on the pin and give it a good pull. Ooh. Where's that coming? Oh, hang on. I might have to just put a little bit of weight on it and then pull it out. Yeah, there we go. That is it. That now is perfect. With everything installed, what I've done, because there's no marks on the camshafts or the crankshaft, I've put my own little marks on the crank, and I have spun it over twice. The crank is aligning back up. Now I have also, I don't know whether it's going to take forever now to blow it down. Where we zoomed in. Let's lower it down quickly. We can have a little look to see if our lines are lining back up, which they should be if we've done everything right. And if we haven't done everything right, they're going to be wrong. Nope, absolutely perfect. Little marker there, there and there. So I am more than happy now and go ahead and put that timing cover back on, which Max here has cleaned, and that is as best as you're going to get it again. I don't know why it's gone like that and I can't clean it. Annoys me afterwards. But yeah, let's get it put back together. Now the timing covers on these can be a little bit tricky. Now I put the sealant on, absolutely perfect. Now I'm just waiting 5 minutes to let it go off. Now what I've had to do, before I put the sealant on, I had a little bit of a practice run of getting it on and off, because the engine's got to be at the right height for it to slide in there, because there's a little bit on the back, that bit there, that catches the chassis leg. So it is a little bit tricky. Have a little practice, get the engine at the right height, and then it'll just slide in without fiddling. Right, we are now all ready to put that cover back on. Well, I kinda got carried away to a point I've had to put my little air conditioning machine on. With typical British weather, the sun has now come back out and it has gone rather warm. New water pump fitted, alternator belts, everything down the bottom is done pretty much. Now, I'm going to take it back up in the air and we're going to get this sump glued on. It doesn't look the best, but it will seal up. We are getting there slowly. Sump is now back on. I'm going to leave that dry overnight before we put any oil in it. Let's make our way around now to the top. Before we put the rocker cover on, just on the joins of all the surfaces, where they mate together, put a little bit of sealant. So as you put the gasket on, put the rocker cover back on with a brand new gasket, it squashes into it and it's not going to leak. But yeah, make sure everything is nice and clean. I'm going to get this rocker cover put back on now. I think at about 10 Newton meters, something like that. Anyway, we're getting there slowly, slowly. Right, well, we are into the next morning. Now, the engine's had plenty of time for the sealant to go off from the timing cover and the sump. I put some fresh oil in it, 5 litres of fresh oil. We'll get it running, so obviously we're going to be checking it after we've had it running. But we have got quite a few little bits and bobs to put back on. Lots of little vac pipes that go down the back, aircon pipes and heat shields and one thing and another. Shouldn't be too long now when we can get this vehicle winding over, I hope. And there we go, at long last. That car is now all back together now. I have got the coil plugs disconnected. I put some fresh coolant in it, connected the battery, oil with a fresh oil and filter. We're going to get on the key now and give it a wind over and make sure that we've got oil pressure. We're going to see what happens. Right. Hang on, mate. No, you'll have to take your arms off. Right, let's go ahead now. Connect this coil pack, these coil packs up. Now, one of them is a little bit of a fiddle, so you'll have to bear with me. Oh no. Right. Does anybody else get nervous when they're going on the first start? I think I used to, but again, if you've done everything right, there's no reason why it shouldn't start. Right, let's get on the key. And there we go, listen to that now. That is sounding like a little Singer sewing machine. Now with that car running, I'm going to leave it ticking over, let it get up to temperature, and while it's getting up to temperature, I'm going to be monitoring the engine speed, the oil temperature, engine coolant temperature, and various other bits and bobs, and also just making sure that we've got no leaks and everything looks pretty much bang on. Let's get that. I hate putting belly panels on. Hate it. One thing that I don't like on all these newer modern cars and stuff is the amount of plastics that we've got to take off. You can spend like half an hour sometimes getting all the plastics off on one thing or another. Anyway, I'm going to get them chucked back on. Well, I don't think I'm going to bore you any longer, but that car is all done. We've given all the plastics a little bit of a clean. Everything is nicely getting up to temperature. Got no leaks. I'm happy with the car. I'm going to take it for a little bit of a test drive down the road. Yeah, what have I got on next? I've got an Astra which is coming on for a timing chain. I'm not going to do a video on that because I've done far too many of them. But if I come across anything interesting, I'll probably put it in a story or post or reel or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, if you like the video and you've made it this far, please do not forget to hit that like and subscribe. And I will definitely see you on the next one. Take it easy and let's get it sent.